I so hope this doesn't happen again. But it could. What do we feel like we just came out of? A coma?
A coma. A coma.
That we just came out of this whole pandemic, lockdown, people not seeing each other. I feel like we've just gotten past that.
And then we got hit with 2 or 3 ice days, snow days.
Yeah, and then I start hearing bird flu again, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, maybe not now, but it could happen again. So this is so important to be prepared for that emergency. And networking 911 power team, let me tell you, will be your safety net.
I totally agree with you, and I think this is a great episode, and everybody's got to listen.
That's right. So welcome to Network Today, where we take you from meeting people to
making money
faster. And this could actually save your bacon.
You know what? I really do. I think this is a really important. We talked about power teams earlier in one of the early episodes, but again, I'm glad we're talking about it because, again, I've kind of laid off it for a while. And what you're talking about is we've got to be prepared.
That's right. So first, let's just quickly touch on the importance of a power team and what it is, right? So you can go back to Sabrina Turner's episode from, oh, good grief, good golly, was that like a year and a half ago?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was forever ago, but it was a great episode, and she talks about power teams having 2 spokes for each, or two spokes, right?
Right.
Yeah, for each section. So
Right.
you have kind of double power teams, and these are people that are referral partners for you.
Right.
So they're feeding your system, and they're your go-to people.
Yeah, it's so important to put this together. And again, I think it's not just for the emergencies, Sheryl, but just for our everyday networking. And then if you're doing this on an everyday basis, then when the emergency comes up, it's like we've got our insurance policy here. We've got the savings plan that we don't have to be in that panic mode. So I think the power team, again, I'm going to be making a kind of a refresher course once this episode's over today. I'm going back to my desk and reviewing it.
Well, I've spent the last probably year and a half since the whole power team concept and discussion came up, really building mine. And I have to tell you that it begins feeding itself. And it's such a great insurance policy for an emergency that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are some of those emergencies that could happen that could force you or send you calling on your power team to help?
Well, one in the wintertime, of course, is always the weather. The ice storms.
Yeah.
A year ago, we were shut down for over a week.
Yeah.
Where we couldn't go out. We couldn't go to networking meetings. We couldn't do our one-on-ones. We were shut down. We lost a week of income.
That's right. So weather-related stuff, that is good. Because how would you use a power team?
Well, I think how I would use my power team during the inclement weather would be the fact that I could still make phone calls. I've still got 100 cards on my desk that I got to start reviewing, and then I want to do something with them and help somebody grow their community so they can and I can go through them to help other people make one-on-ones, which can be done virtually through Zoom. So we have a lot of good tools now that we can help other people. But yeah, just on the cards that I have on my desk, I can get caught up.
Well, and here's what I was thinking too. So yes, from a networking standpoint, you find a way to do this virtually and to keep those relationships going, to keep fueling those. But the other side is, if you're shut down for a week, you still have things that have to get done, right? And maybe you've got an employee who's going to be locked down stuck in their place for 3 weeks because they live way out and wherever.
Right.
And you have to find replacements for that. Going to your power team to help with those emergency needs, I think, is so helpful. So you've got, stuff happens. So whether it's weather or lockdowns, here are some of the other things I was thinking about too that create emergencies. You lose a big client.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a
point.
big torpedo.
Huge.
to your business. And what happens when we lose a big client? We lose money, right?
Yeah.
Then what happens?
Well, then panic mode.
That's what I was going to say.
Go
We
right,
lose
boom.
our mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
We lose our mind. So that's when going to a power team member that you trust, that refers you, they understand your business, and you can say, hey, look, I just lost a big client. You can be honest with them and transparent.
Right.
I think that's super important. And say, I need to find new streams of revenue, and
Right.
I need to do it quickly.
Right.
So how can the power team help there?
Well, again, what you earlier said was you've built that trust factor so that people don't mind giving you opportunities from their own database of contacts. And again, I think when you're a little vulnerable and share that, like being transparent, like you said, I think people really do want to help, because that's the essence of your power team. Again, is the sharing of core values that you support one another. You're there. I've got your back. Therefore, I'm gonna work a little harder to get my friend Cheryl a lead, because I know that it's important to her.
That's a great point. And I'm going to dig a little deeper, go a little further, because I want to make sure that you're taken care of, and that we can, with just pulling everything we got to help shore up that torpedo in the side of your ship. So another thing is, maybe you just landed a big client. So not lost one, but you landed one. Now you have to ramp up.
Well, a lot of times, again, when you've landed a big client, that's taking away your time from prospecting and keeping the pipeline full. So therefore, again, you've got to turn to your power team to help that, so you don't have that up and down, up and down.
Yes. So you can help. The reason this 911 power team discussion began was because it's really important to know that you can augment those hills and valleys to make a little more even playing field, right? So you're not going to be going, oh my gosh, and then the client's unhappy because you landed the big client because you talked a big game and they loved you and what you do, but unfortunately you don't have the resources to pull in. This is where a 911 power team can really be helpful and help you gain that client. So that power team, I can call up somebody and I can say, hey, look, I need an admin person, I need a printer person, I need somebody to go present at this client, or to whatever that is, right? And maybe do it on just a task basis instead of a full-time employee basis. Another thing I thought about, just because I've had this happen, was being in a slump. I had somebody be honest with me recently, and they said, hey, Cheryl, and they're not necessarily on my power team directly, but there's somebody I really care about. And they said, I'm really struggling. And I was so thankful that they were honest. Because when you're in a slump, who do you need?
Yeah, you need a member of your power team. And again, I think that's why the power team is just so essential to effective networking. That you keep it fresh, you keep it active, and then you become that valuable resource for all your other team members.
Yep. So what if we had, these are what ifs. I can't say that these will ever happen. What if we had a huge financial downturn and we had a lot of our financial partners that you and I both know end up without a job? Right? What would you and I do at that point for those people?
Well, I think we would drill down to our not just our power team, but we even drill down further to the people who we know. It's kind of like we have our power team, but then we've got that next layer of 100 people that we know quite well. And so again, it's the relationship you have with those people. You want to dig deeper to really go out of your way to help them.
Yes. So when you and I were talking about this and I was looking up articles, there wasn't anything like networking 911 power team. There wasn't, but there were a lot of articles on how you shore up a business in preparation for an emergency. Now the same rules apply, right? So whether you're on your own as a solopreneur, whether you're a 1099 contract worker, whatever that is, whether you have a small employee team or a large employee team, making sure that you prepared yourself and your business for those potential emergencies is so key, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's no different than in your own personal life, where you have a savings account in the bank, right? Every time you get a commission check, whatever, you take, 10%, 20%, and put it in your savings account so that you save up for a rainy day. Well, we need to do the same thing in networking.
That's right, because the rain could become a flood, and the flood could become a lockdown.
Yeah,
So tapping into your power team is really important. Also, I've seen people have this, especially for the family-owned business, a family emergency. You need a power team like crazy. You need somebody out there who's selling for you or bringing you leads because you can't do it.
Right.
You're not able to do it. Or if you got a storefront, who's going to turn the lights on?
Right.
Your power team.
Right.
So think about, even if you're all virtual, which I am, your office, right? You're brick and mortar, I'm click and order. So regardless of whether you are, what realm you sit in, what silo you sit in, it doesn't matter. We need to operate the same.
Yeah.
We need to prepare the same way. You buy your insurance before you get in the car.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So your 911 power team it's the same power team. It just consider keeping those relationships really fresh and vibrant so they're ready for an emergency.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, what I'm taking away here right now is how we've got to spend the time to maintain those relationships, like calling them up, having a one-on-one, whether it's in person or on the phone, because you've got to touch them.
Yeah.
Whether it's once a month or our power team really should be 1 or 2 times a month.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the key is we get so busy running around that we kind of forget about the power team. So now I'm thinking myself that I'm going to be running out of the studio here, going back to my desk and and looking at my power team and go, oh my gosh, I haven't called him in a month or so, and it's been a couple of months for that person. I need to get on the bandwagon here because again, you're putting a little scare into me here, Sheryl, in the sense that I've got to be more prepared.
I think things will happen, and we do have to be prepared.
Yeah.
And we did talk about, kind of these smaller little hiccups, but we could have a major hiccup. And that's, they talk about EMPs. I don't even know what that would be, but, taking down the power grid and you still have to function.
Yeah.
Business still has to happen on some level. So don't panic because you got a 911 power team.
Right.
It's just so important. And these people can help you with, I was just thinking about some of the things during the COVID lockdown that all of a sudden, within just a click, right? It was everybody has to go home.
Yeah.
And so you had to send people home, and it became a WFH work environment.
Yeah.
Internet security, huge thing. You better have a power team partner in internet security.
Yeah.
So that's one. Employee handbooks.
Yeah.
So protocol. Discussions and wellness. I mean, that's a huge factor too.
Yeah.
So making sure you've got people who can speak into your life into your life, edify you during these times. So we're just here to help you get ahead of that networking crazy curve that may happen.
It can be as simple as the fact that you just need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Where that you could be brainstorming, whether it's on a one-on-one or on the phone, just sharing ideas, seeing what you both can come up with. Because 1 + 1 = 3. You just you can create better ideas, more ideas, new ideas. You need that help from your power team members.
You do, and be transparent. So be transparent.
Yeah.
If you're especially a W-2 employee and you're having difficulty, be transparent.
Yeah.
So that I don't want to, I want to hear from you anyway, but I don't want to just hear from you when the job has been lost. If you see some signs of the foundation starting to crack in that professional world, let your power team know.
Right.
I want to know so that we can, certainly be there for you, but also do everything that we can to bring in resources to make you successful.
Yeah, again, it's just that reminder as well, Sheryl, is that, it's like, stop just gathering business cards and start building relationships. It's time to step back a little bit and just make sure that the people on our power team have heard from us, that they understand. We're all so busy. We're going 90 miles an hour. We need to be reminded.
Yeah.
And I think, too, is the other side of the coin is you need to expand your sphere of influence by more than just your power team. And that's why there's that one book I've got, The Power Connector, 5 + 50 + 150.
Yeah.
That's over 200 people. That takes a lot of time to keep in touch with.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Grab that book. You'll love it. And all right, this is an important topic, not a super fun one, but a very, very important one, right?
Important one.
All right. Cheers to you, my Bucky mugless friend.
I know it. Where's my Bucky?
But that's a cool mug. That's a cool mug. Let's see.
Yeah.
Purple Cow branding.
There we go.
All right. Well,
all right. Let's have a great week, Sheryl.
That's right. Cheers to you. And thank you for joining us at Network Today, where we take you from meeting people to
making money
faster. We'll see you next week.